Welcome everyone to this week's episode of It's a Numbers Game. I'm Adam Morris and joined by my co-host, the one and only Daniel Welling. Our guests today are Alex and David from DivCom, and DivCom are an event company and the organisers behind the MSP Show. This show is being held at the Excel in London on the 14th and 15th of May, so it made sense to get the people behind it on the podcast. And today we're going to talk about how the MSP Show came about, why it's become a must-attend for every MSP owner, and the smart way to plan your visit and make the most of your time whilst away from the office. So grab your headphones, settle in, and let's dive into the conversation.
David and Alex, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Hello. Thank you.
So we first met in real life November 23 at the MSP Global Show, and that was the year before the first MSP show, which was a great success and has become really part of the MSP event landscape moving forwards. So we're really interested to have you on the podcast today and to learn a little bit more about it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us. Can't wait to talk about it.
Very good. So, well, perhaps that's the place to start then. Maybe you'd like to tell us a little bit about how the show came about.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to take that. So we have already been running a show called SITS, the Service Desk and IT Support Show. It's actually been around for approximately 30 years. We kind of lost the number of years now with a bit of COVID and before my time and Alex's time. But as a company, we acquired that around 10 years ago. It very much deals with more the internal service desk. So it's a show specifically for IT support, the service desk, IT service management. What we were noticing was that we were always attracting MSPs to come to the show, but we weren't quite getting the messaging right. People were saying to us they were registering and then seeing what was on the content program, seeing the suppliers, and some of it was relevant, but it all wasn't totally right for the MSP audience. So we actually went through our own MSP journey as a business. We left our existing MSP, set up with someone who left that MSP and set up on their own, which is very normal within this space. We as a business went with them. And it just started us to ask questions about, okay, well, actually, we can see that there's a link to the Service Desk and IT Support Show, but what else do you think we should be doing at the show? And they started giving us ideas around content, around suppliers. And it naturally felt like, actually, we've got a different show that could sit alongside the existing show for the internal service desk. And the MSP show was born. It's all free to attend. And it was very much doing targeted content around sales, marketing, finance, mergers, acquisitions, stuff that we've never covered off before at the SITS, the Service Desk and IT Support Show. And it opened us up to a whole raft of new suppliers, some of which we already had relationships with, ConnectWise, Kaseya, Datto. We're already in the room at the Service Desk and IT Support Show, but it opened up to a whole new raft of suppliers. And that's how the MSP show was born. And we're now approaching the second year.
Super. And thinking about it, I'd attended the Accountex show, and as I'd come out of the Accountex show, maybe it was the year before we met actually, as I come out of the Accountex show, I saw SITS there and I thought, oh, that's an IT event.
Yeah.
How funny that should be on next door. And but yes, like many, I probably didn't see it as an MSP focused event, and therefore wouldn't have been on my immediate radar. Last year, one of the standout crossovers for me was Halo having one stand with an F1 car on and another stand with a road car on, which I thought was very cool. Petrolhead, of course. But yes, the MSP is definitely a subcategory in its own right within the overall channel. So yeah, very good. And as you say, you're heading into the second year now. How's it changed from the first year? What would we expect to see between the first and second year?
So an increase in number of exhibitors, vendors, solutions, services, aplenty. So where we had around 30 exhibitors in our launch year, we are now looking to be over 70 for year 2. that said, the actual floor space size has tripled. It's, people upsizing, rebooking on site from 2024, just knowing from the quality of people that they were speaking with. So we've had a really great uptake with some incredible vendors coming on board. And as the awareness has obviously progressed, then just getting more and more inquiries through the door. So we've got lots happening for 2025, lots of new feature areas. Would you like to hear about anything that we might have planned?
Yeah, please.
Absolutely. In fact, one of the layout elements that I liked actually last year, so hopefully it won't be too different, was that there wasn't a huge amount of space in between the stand rows. So that tended to create quite a natural networking opportunity for MSPs to sort of meet and chat, and that was a good feature, I would say.
It was great. It was really good for networking with that. So yes, no, we're not differentiating from that at all. We are keeping it similar aisle widths, wouldn't you say, David? It's what we have to stick to. So it worked really well. So we're
I
keeping
didn't
it the
even know
same.
that aisle widths was a thing.
Yeah.
Now learning.
Very.
I can talk a lot about aisle widths and 2 meters and 3 meters
Oh,
and all
makes
that
all the
sort.
difference.
Yeah, it really does. It's all thought through. It's not just the
And of course where the booth is highly strategic, isn't it? Is it near the coffee machine or the toilets?
Luckily with us, again, it's in a top right corner of the show, the MSP side of things. So we've now got 2 theatres for 2025, so a whole additional theatre. So a total of 24 speaking sessions going on over the course of 2 days, along with having a dual branded keynote theatre this year as well. So again, there's content in there for everybody in the keynote theatre. So we have a new feature with our lovely partners. So the new GTIA, they are having a one-to-one meeting hub, meeting room within their stand where you can have some pre-bookable sessions with some experts covering, your cybersecurity, your marketing, etc. So that's going to be promoted very shortly. We also have a wonderful fun feature that we've got for this year, because you've got to have a bit of fun at every event, haven't you? Where we get to spend some budget on the things we think people will like. So we've got a great feature called the Wonder Years, which is everything nostalgic from the 80s. It's going to bring back so many memories for so many people. Great photo opportunities in there. It's a bit of a breakout relaxation zone to go and take your coffee to, relax, play a game with somebody. So we look forward to that.
Alex has put a lot of effort into that area, and I can't wait for it to be seen by everyone. So there's going to be a few surprises as well.
So this is
surprises.
just taking us back to the 80s, did you say?
It's to a time, the early tech times. Just to bring back, pre your smartphones, etc. It's to remove people from, I suppose, everything that is tech related and just take you back to a simpler time where things were simpler, but things to remind you of some good old days. Yeah, so I'm sure there's going to be some features in there, nice nostalgic treats, and on that theme there'll be some surprise visits at the show as well, which to add a bit of fun to the event, but still on the kind of tech related side of things. That
sounds cryptic, but think iconic people, films, movies from the era, and also some current programs which are having nostalgia, bringing back the 80s. So can kind of leave people to guess what those things might be.
Yeah. And within that area, we are pleased because the MSP show has grown. We are very pleased to be hosting our own networking drinks on day one from within that area. So drinks on us from 4:30 day one on the 14th. For all attendees, all exhibitors, come on over and have a nice relaxed, hour or two of networking drinks.
You had me at hello, actually. When there's a free drink involved, I'm normally there. So
that sounds really amazing, actually. Of course, who knew there's so much going on with all these things and so much to pull together. So what are your tips then for visitors? It's a 2-day show. How do they go about working out how to get the most from this? Do they get there early? Do they go first day, second? How do they go about navigating? How do they go about, I guess, getting the most from their day away from the office? Because they're all busy owners. They've all got, masses of priorities to work on. And yet, what we're saying here is, no, take a day out and go and speak to people in the community, vendors, and other MSP owners, etc.
David, I'll let you speak about this because I know we're now this year being a bigger event, etc. We have so much content going on within the 2 seminar theatres that we're wanting the MSPs to plan ahead, have a look at the key sessions that are of interest to them, and to come along for the 2 days because there's so much to see and so much on the education programme that it is worth to actually come for the full 2 days. So book a hotel, I think, is what we'd say.
I know. We were talking about it this week because when we launched, people came and sussed it out, probably came for a day. But because everything's grown in size, that is definitely a first tip. Head to our website. All the content is listed on there so you can plan ahead and see what sessions you want to go to. The sessions aren't repeated, so each day has different content. So with the keynote program, Theatre 1 and Theatre 2, there's a whole raft of different things that you can attend. So I would suggest first and foremost, check out our website, check out the content, head to the website as well to register. It's all free. So you just need to go in there, register and get your free ticket. To help you plan as well, once you have registered, a couple of weeks out from the show, we have a show app. So you can download this and start saving sessions that you really want to attend and build a schedule that's right for you. Same with the vendors and suppliers that are going to be there. This is an opportunity to meet the teams behind the brands. So a lot of stuff obviously is happening online now. Being able to see everyone under one roof is huge. So if there's people that you want to meet, make sure that you've kind of seen our floor plan and mapped out your time with that as well. And factoring in the networking opportunities, like Alex said, for the first time this year, we've got these drinks on the show floor that are open to all visitors. So it's going to be a packed couple of days. So I think planning is key. Look at the website, the exhibitors and content and map that all out. And I think you'll have a really busy 2 days. So some comfy shoes as well. And over to Alex, she's got more, I'm sure.
And day 2, not only networking drinks on day 1, day 2 is obviously a key day to attend. We have obviously your lovely selves in the main Theatre 1 at 12 o'clock with M&A Masterclass. So you are the experts presenting this, so they have to come on day 2 as well. So yeah, the M&A Masterclass
is an absolute must.
Yes.
It is an absolute must. Yeah.
Positioning for the perfect deal. So, if that doesn't make everyone come back on day 2, then I don't know what will.
And we're intending to have a lot of fun with that session as well. So Adam and I will be role playing an M&A process. So you'll have to attend to find out who's the buyer and who's the seller. Or maybe there's a twist.
Wow, I can't wait.
Brilliant.
We'll come back to the podcast in a minute, but first, I just want to introduce you to the mentoring service from MSP Finance Team. How long will you carry on struggling on your own, juggling cash flow, feeling like you're barely making ends meet, when the very reason you started your MSP was not just to help others master technology, but also to secure your own financial future? Or perhaps you've grown your MSP to a good size and are looking to prepare for an optimal sale or acquisition, but have never done it before. We've walked in your shoes. We're ex-MSP owners and have built our businesses from startup to exit and know exactly how it feels to be constantly firefighting or struggling to grow profit. And that's why our mentoring, or call it coaching if you prefer, exists to help you achieve the rewards you set out to achieve in the first place. More profit, more time, and the freedom to focus on what truly matters. So you're probably asking, why should we work with you? Well, we deliver results. Here are just 2 examples. A 10 million MSP with a 7-strong leadership team but lackluster results. Within just 2 quarters of working with us, their profits began to climb. At the end of year 1, their profits will have jumped from 300k to 1.3 million. But we're not that big, I hear you say. Well, we work with smaller MSPs as well. A 400k MSP was suffering a 10% loss before we engaged with them and were struggling to move forward for years. Again, within a 12-month period, we've turned that business around. They've got new clients, they've got their mojo back, and they made a 10% profit this year. If you'd like results like this, book a free consultation now at mspfinanceteam.com, and we'll discuss a burning issue that's been holding you back and give you several key actions to take away and implement completely free of charge with no further obligations. Don't settle for less. Make your MSP everything you dreamed it to be.
And you mentioned some of the other topics of speakers that you've curated over the 2 days. So what are some of the other topics that you've got lined up?
Some key topics. Obviously, you can imagine AI and automation being quite hot up there, along with your cybersecurity, selling cybersecurity. So we have got some interesting panel discussions going on. We have got vendors up there talking about how to work with MSPs. So it's how vendors should be serving MSPs. So we have well-being and work balance sessions. We have a fantastic community session, the importance of communities and how it can obviously help your business thrive by having those connections. We have many sort of growth sessions with your sales and marketing, as you can imagine, and data recovery, key topics on pricing, getting your pricing right, getting your contracts right, have the correct recruitment for your business. I don't think there's anything we're not covering, actually. And even marketing with regards to content coaching yourself, putting yourself out there. So,
Yeah, that sounds really good. Good depth and breadth, ultimately. And I mean, why wouldn't you come to this? Because all the vendors are there. There's a load of content, different speakers. Why wouldn't you come to this? It's free. Sounds perfect.
exactly. Experts in the theatres, experts on the stands. This is who you need to be meeting with.
And how many delegate attendees are you expecting to have at this event?
Do you know, we're hoping, so last year we went over 4,000 between the two shows. It's really tricky, to be honest, to know exactly who's going to come with a free event, but we're tracking ahead of last year. I'd hate to ever put a number on it, but we're hoping to do better than last year with the show increasing in size. There's a bigger machine behind it now that people know, the MSP show. So yeah, let's hope for smashing through last year's numbers of just over 4,000. But also, we want to maintain the quality for everyone. So we want the visitors to have a great time networking with other quality visitors and other MSP business owners. So that's still key for us as well. So yeah, bit of a cryptic answer, but it's very hard to gauge. And people register late now. It's kind of the nature of things in this space. People are registering later, but we take that as a good sign that we're ahead at the moment because it's firmly in people's diary. Within a short space of time, the show has become really established, I think. And we love the MSP community. It's so supportive. So yeah.
Sort of connected, but maybe slightly separate is what's the events industry like in general? So just taking a step back, if you like, we had COVID 4 years ago. That presumably had some kind of impact to this industry. Where is it heading as an industry? Does it fit some sectors well and others not so well? What sort of trends are you seeing? Just be really interesting to know, because kind of go back to what I said earlier about busy MSP owners and, looking at their diaries and just thinking, do you know what? I just don't think it's a good use of my time to go away for the day. I guess I'm trying to just sort of understand in a bit more of a broader sense where vendors are going with this, where buyers are going in general and the industry is going.
Yeah, I think, do you know what? Event, it was incredibly challenging through COVID. I've worked at the company that organizes the MSP shows called Diversified. I've worked here for 14, 15 years, and COVID was the most challenging time ever because you were trying to sell the concept of a mass gathering face to face, which you weren't allowed to do. But what I saw was there was a period where people thought, oh, you could do this all virtually. You can go to a virtual event. And it quickly became apparent that you just can't get that connection. People need the human connection. They need face to face. So for those shows that were strong and that were really delivering pre-COVID, they really weathered the storm and came out the other side even stronger. Our first shows out of COVID as a business, we run 18 trade shows across a range of different industries. They're all B2B events and we don't do consumer, but every industry has a face-to-face event, if not multiple face-to-face events. And if they're positioned correctly, they're doing incredibly well. And you can do more now virtually. You can meet up, but people, if they can meet everyone under one roof, that can save hours of time of separate meetings. And people don't want to travel around as much now for a meeting. I remember back in the day and I'd travel 3 hours for a 1 hour meeting and 3 hours home. I think that's changed. So going to a trade show, you can do all those meetings, you can catch up with those people, you can build those connections over one day rather than it taking weeks across a whole year. So yeah, we're seeing the events industry has bounced back like no other, I think. It was incredible to see and experience because there was definitely some scary times in the middle of it. But yeah, I'm proof with the MSP show of how much it's grown. but we only do what's right for the communities that we serve. And yeah, we're here to make it work for those who want to attend and come together. And yeah, that's where we're at with events, I think.
And for myself, from speaking with the speakers, that we've had come on board for this year, just learning about what a kind of lonely environment it can be for MSPs, running an MSP, and finding out how vital it is actually to remove yourself and get yourself amongst other people. So I see it as a very vital event to attend.
Indeed. And it's nice having independent events as well, so they're just not completely sponsored by a single vendor and their mates. Something that's independent gives it a bit of a fresher look. So I think there's room for lots of different types of styles. It's great having the vendor sponsored based events, but it's good having independent ones as well. Larger ones, smaller ones. There's the opportunity, I think, just to mix with different communities within the MSP community itself and meet different faces as well.
And you can immerse yourself, as much as you like as well. Some might just choose to be there, be present. Others may want to be taking part in things like the hot topics, roundtable discussions, etc. You can choose how involved you wish to be, but you're always going to get so much out of it. Sorry, David.
No, I agree. Sorry, I lost my train of thought on that one. But no, it all makes sense, and I'll throw it down for the next question. Sorry.
Well,
sorry.
Maybe more an observation than a question, but certainly Adam and I are both advocates of MSPs getting out into the community. The community was a transformational part of, it's the reason I'm still involved in the marketplace, to be honest. And yeah, I can't recommend enough that MSPs, owners, senior leaders, and those coming up through the ranks partake in community, getting to know others. And, it is transformational, opens your eyes, provides access to people that you wouldn't ordinarily have access to in an easy, efficient way. So yeah, definitely it's worth at least one day attending. If you can't do two, and being totally selfish, if it's only one day you can attend, it's the second one around lunchtime. Around lunchtime.
Yeah.
Shameless plug over with. We're nearly at time, but I'm interested just to hear a little bit more about. In fact, you mentioned earlier about the hub meeting area with GTIA, which some of our listeners may have missed the story, but that is what was CompTIA, and so it's good to see that the rebranded organisation out in the community. So just tell us a little bit about the format for that. Did you say there's going to be meeting spaces that you can book?
Absolutely, and there's two. I should have mentioned Tech Tribe as well. So for GTIA, we have sessions that they'll be running in their own private room. So it'll be a pre-bookable link where you can pre-book in with an expert to come and talk to them about whatever issue you want to discuss. And you can book in with the correct expert for that topic. So that will be running throughout the 2 days.
Okay.
So we will be promoting that very shortly, actually. The other meeting hub that we have as well is with Tech Tribe, very close by to the GTIA, in between two theatres. So they also having a meeting hub as well and bringing all of their members down. So I'm sure, again, some of your listeners will know of the Tech Tribe.
Well, and ourselves included as well.
Yeah.
So yes, and but both two great organisations that have really been catalysts for this sort of community feel in the industry. So no, that's very good to hear. So, and it sounds like you've had some intentional design there, putting it between the theatres, so that will create this sort of hub of flow of people, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's keeping it busy in every part of the show.
We always like to say
Everything's
it's like 360-degree shows. There's something in every corner to get everyone moving around and seeing every corner of the show.
Right.
It's hopefully all planned.
Not just near the toilets and the coffee stand then.
Well, yeah.
Well,
Everyone needs to go to the loo, so it's a great spot to be if you're a stand.
Absolutely. Brilliant. Good. Well, I can't thank you enough for coming along on the podcast. And normally at this time we offer people, our guests, a shameless plug. But really, the plug is you've got to get yourself booked, and even more important, do come along, enjoy and engage in the event and everything that it has to offer. And we look forward to seeing everybody there.
And one more time, the dates.
14th and 15th of May.
The doors open at 10 a.m.
Doors open at 9:30.
9:30. It's a London XL. So head to mspshow.co.uk. You can register for free and double check the start time. We think it's 9:30.
There'll be some very aggrieved people waiting outside at 9 o'clock saying, come on.
Yeah.
Build the excitement.
Come and find David and Alex and tell them we'll buy you a coffee if we got the time wrong.
Okay.
Pretty sure it's 9:30.
Fantastic. Nice to meet you guys. And we look forward to attending the show.
Nice
Thank
to
you so
meet
much for having us. Thank
Take
you.
care.
Cheers.
Thanks.